Hey Arc of New Jersey, it's Matthew Locascio back with another weekly edition of helpful health tips and exercises for you guys. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. I hope you all survived that heat wave this past weekend as we got our first taste of 90-something degree weather. And as a trainer and someone in the health field, I want to always remind you guys, whether you're exercising, doing something physical, or even just hanging out on a day that hot, just remember your body loses fluid very quickly, and to always make sure you're drinking enough water, keeping yourself hydrated. Dehydration can happen fast, and you don't want that. Fainting and other things, obviously can be a byproduct. So just be careful as this hot weather starts to hit, as we're quickly getting into that season of the year. It's crazy to say, but with Memorial Day coming up, it's fast approaching. So just make sure you keep plenty of water in your system. Water works better than anything else when it comes to hydration. Sure, the sports drinks and other things, can help with electrolytes, but water is always the best way to keep your body naturally hydrated. Today we're going to go over a few different exercises you can do one at a time, meaning alternating arms exercises, upper body. Since last few weeks I think I've given you guys some lower body stuff. These are going to be upper body exercises, and as always, we want to make sure that you are safe with these exercises and that you feel comfortable doing them. So if you have any questions about these or any other health related questions, that's what we're here for at IHT. Feel free to contact us, 908-875-3241. Again, 908-875-3241. Or you can reach us at info@inhometrainermatt.com is the email. And of course, inhometrainermatt.com is the website. And you can reach us through the contact portal. So any of those ways, again, only do these exercises if you feel comfortable doing them. If you're not sure, or if you're not comfortable doing them, please rewatch the video, make sure you're doing it right. And if it still doesn't feel right, then feel free to reach out to us or avoid doing the exercise. Do not do something you don't know if you're doing it right or not. So without further ado, let's start off. We're going to start off with a cool one. I'm going to act like I'm in witness protection here, and I'm blocking my face off. Or you guys know from the Friday classes when we do the boxing, my defensive pose before we punch. But we're not punching here. What we're going to do is we're going to take one hand at a time, bring it out to the side. So you're going to bring it out and back. So you want your arm and your hand to basically end up level with your ear. So you're just rotating the arm and shoulder back naturally. This is a natural movement for the shoulder. So you're just coming back. And really where you want to feel this is in your lats and your delts, your back muscles. That's really where you want to get a nice, good burn here, is in the back muscles more so than anything else. Now, you may feel it in your arms a little bit. You may feel it in your shoulders from keeping this position. But you really want to try and work the back muscles. So if you can, pull back on as you're doing this. Use those delt muscles and lat muscles, aka just your back muscles, and naturally pull back and rotate the shoulders backwards. One at a time, nice and slow, and I'm not moving my other arm until the opposite arm gets back to its original position. Again, one at a time. You want to, your goal here should be, I would say, anywhere between 10 to 15 each arm, and make sure you're keeping track of it properly. So what I do is I count, for instance, here I would say 10, 10, 11, 11, because that to me is easier than counting to 25, 20 or 24 or 30, whatever's more comfortable for you, but try and keep track on your own of the number you're doing. And again, nice and slow each side, just one at a time. Last one, that should be good. Beautiful. Okay, the next one we're going to do is a shoulder exercise. Now the key to this one is we're starting in what is generally the finished position. So both arms are going to go up above our heads. This is the finished position. And now we're going to drop one arm, bring it up. We're going to drop the opposite arm, bring it up. So one hand is always staying up in the air in the finished position. If there's an A and a B to the exercise, one arm is always in the B position. And notice, just like the last exercise, this hand's not moving until this one comes up and takes its place. Again, nice and slow. Don't rush through these. I know I say it every week, but it's really key. You never want to rush through any exercises. You're not going to feel it in the right places. You're going to do more harm than good if you do that. So nice and slow. This one, same thing. I would gear this more towards the 10 each arm to 12 rather than 15, because anything above the head like this, and this is using our shoulder muscles instead of our back muscles, it's smaller muscles, they're more complicated, they're easy to anger. So I would do less of these personally than I would the back ones. At least to start, until you find a level of comfort and maybe you decide you can do a few more. I would start with, 10 each side. And now I'm being a hypocrite because I told you guys to keep count at home and I've lost count. So let's say, if that happens, let's make a good estimated guess. Let's say this next one is 7. 7, and again, that's easier for me than going 13, 14, 15 for whatever reason. It's my Hackestown education, maybe. 9, and 10, and 10. Beautiful. Beautiful. See, I can feel that burning in my shoulders already, especially if you did the back one first. You're going to feel that almost immediately. So again, do yourself a favor, limit the amount you do. You can always do more sets. We talk about that all the time. You can do 2, 3, 4 sets of each of these if you guys want to. It's better to do smaller numbers. Give yourself a nice 30-second to minute break and then do it again than to push it too far and end up hurting yourself. We never want that. So let's give those back and shoulder, let's give this area a little rest here. And what we're going to do for our last one at a time exercise here is we're going to do a little bicep curl. Biceps are a great muscle to work one at a time because you really have to focus to use it. If you're not pulling in using your bicep muscle when you do a bicep curl, you're not really going to work the muscle. Triceps, chest, back, they're all easier to use. Biceps, you really got to focus on. So I'm doing this with no weight. If you have lightweight at home, you want to do it that way, that's great. But I suggest starting with no weight and getting used to using that biceps muscle to really pull in for the curl. And then from there, once you get used to that, you can always add the weight later. You can add in dumbbells or whatever you like to use. So hands go to the side. We're keeping our elbows tucked in. They're not coming out here. They're keeping to the side right next to my logo on my shirt, keeping them in. And one at a time, and I'm going to keep my hand flat because that helps me focus on using this muscle to pull, and I'm using that exact muscle, the biceps, to pull in. I am right here clenching it. Like you would clench your stomach, I'm clenching my bicep muscle, and I'm slowly retracting the arm back down, because if you do that and resist the way down, it works as good, if not even better, than the pulling in. This part of the biceps exercise, super important. Not too many people realize that, but it is. So again, as hard as we pull in and clench a little, nice and slow, resisting on the way back down, keeping that biceps muscle engaged. Again, I am keeping my hands flat. It helps me really focus on using that biceps muscle to pull in. You do whatever you want in as far as that regards. If you're holding a weight, obviously make sure you're holding it properly. If you want to do it with a fist instead of a hand, that's fine, as long as you're following the other techniques of the exercise. Nice and slow. Again, slow, and resistance in both directions. And I can feel this right now, guys, with no weight. I'm not holding a resistance band. I'm not holding dumbbells here, nothing. And because I'm pulling, because I'm clenching that muscle on the way in and the way out, I can really actually feel myself using the proper muscles, which is great. That's always what we want. While you're doing this, whether you're seated or standing, make sure you're keeping your back, shoulders pinched together. I actually should do a little better job of that myself. There we go. We don't want to be slouched in any direction. It's going to affect the integrity of the exercise and the effectiveness of it. And we always want to have good posture. Having good posture is important. Clenching, nice and slow. Same thing with this one, 20, 24, 30. Again, that's 10, 12, or 15 each arm. Should be plenty. Let's do one more each arm here. Nice and slow, and nice and slow, and that should be great. So those are 3 great exercises for you guys. Again, name of the game is don't go too fast. You want to do it at a safe, slow pace that's effective. You want to focus on the muscles you're using. That's the great part about doing one side at a time, is you get to really isolate each side of your muscles, right? Each bicep, the right and the left shoulders, the right and left lat and delt areas. You get to focus in on them. So do your best to do that. Start with light weight or no weight at all, and just focus on feeling it in those right areas. Focus on going slow and isolating those muscles as much as possible. Once you feel super secure in it, you can add weight to your discretion. And as always, as I said in the beginning, do not do any of this if it doesn't feel safe or comfortable for you. If an exercise doesn't, move on to the next one. If none of them do, contact us, or do not do them, at least until you do. And if you have any questions, as always, 908-875-3241, info@inhometrainermatt.com, or through the contact portal on inhometrainermatt.com. Enjoy these exercises. Focus on doing them correctly with good posture and good principles. And again, be safe. Have a great rest of your week. Drink plenty of water. And I will see you guys this Memorial Day weekend, right? Friday, technically part of Memorial Day weekend. Can't believe I'm saying that. Have a great, great night, Arc of New Jersey. Enjoy these exercises. And again, I will see you guys this Friday. So thank you and have a good night.